Hey everybody, this is Old Newbie from the Old Newbie VR show where I normally talk about VR from the business perspective. But today I wanted to address AMD's release of their 6000 series graphics cards. And there has seemed to be a lot of discussions, a lot of issues with the release of this card, and a lot of people are talking about it. Over on YouTube, the tech tubers are talking about it in Reddit. There's a lot of posts. And what I notice is that there's a fundamental misunderstanding of basic supply chain logistics that folks just aren't understanding. And unfortunately, it's derailing the conversation. So, with me having my master's in business, I just wanted to do a quick primer so that folks understand these basic concepts and that we can have an informed discussion so we can actually talk about the root causes of these issues and actually talk about what the challenges are. So, without further ado, I want to jump right into it and let's just talk real quick about the logistics chain, the supply chain. So the first thing that we have in the supply chain is the supplier. Now, the supplier is the one that creates, in this case, let's say components. So, like say for instance, Micron makes memory chips. You as the consumer, you're not going to buy memory chips from Micron. You're going to buy those memory chips after they're inputted into a product. So the supplier are the ones that traditionally make components. Now, the supplier is going to sell those components to a manufacturer. And sorry, I'm writing in 3D, so this may come out looking a little wonky. And that manufacturer is going to take all of those different components and they're going to assemble it into a final product. In this case, AMD making a GPU. They are going to buy memory chips, they're going to buy, capacitors and all that stuff from different suppliers, and they're going to assemble it into a GPU. Now, what traditionally happens next is that manufacturer is going to utilize a warehouse to stock up those products and then give them later to a distributor. And that distributor is going to take those products from the warehouse that are stocked up and they are going to bring them out to multiple locations. And in those multiple locations are retailers. Now, the retailers are your stores. They're either brick and mortar like a micro center, or they are e-tailers, and you can buy them online from places like Newegg. And those retailers sell to you, the consumer. So this is your traditional supply and logistics chain. And it's important to understand this because also this is how the money flows. You, the consumer, you are only going to buy from a retailer. And the retailer is going to pay the distributor is going to pay the warehouse is going to pay the manufacturer, and the manufacturer pays the supplier. Very rarely are you, the consumer, are going to buy from the warehouse. Now, again, there are cases and instances where this happens, where the consumer can buy manufacturer direct. But for the cases of this, let's just keep this very simple, where you, the consumer, are only going to buy from the retailer. And this is the traditional setup of a logistics chain. So I'm going to keep this up here. So let's introduce the next term that is very, not controversial, but it trips up a lot of people. The next concept is the MSRP. And hopefully you can see that, and I didn't write too high. The MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. That is set by this guy here, the manufacturer, for you, the consumer. And the MSRP is not a hard price. The retailer makes the price. The MSRP is, as the name says, is a suggestion. It's only a guide. And that guide is made for you as the consumer to help you. It's actually a legal construct. The manufacturer makes this MSRP because look at this chain. The manufacturer's here, and there are a lot of different steps in between the manufacturer and you, the consumer, where basically you can be taken advantage of. Imagine if the warehouse added a charge onto that product, the distributor added on a charge, and the retailer added on a charge. By the time it gets to you, the consumer, that price could be astronomical. So legally, this concept of MSRP was created so that that manufacturer can say, this is what I think that you, the consumer, should pay for the product. So that when that graphics card goes through all of these different steps and gets to you, the consumer, you can hold up that graphics card, look at the MSRP and say, hey, you know what? This card should cost $650. Why is this retailer charging me $800? And you can make an informed decision about the price. MSRP is there to help you. It's not an actual price that you pay. It's a guide to help you determine what you should be paying after that product goes through this chain, and you can make an informed decision. Now, it's not always bad. It actually goes in the other direction. If a warehouse and a distributor get to that retailer and they have an exorbitant amount of stock, that retailer can say, hey, you know what? I need to get rid of this product. So let me charge less for the MSRP, less than the MSRP. And that's traditionally known as a sale. You look at the MSRP and you say, hey, this card is $650 and this retailer is charging only $600. Hey, this is a good deal. Again, MSRP is only a guide that helps you, the consumer, through this chain so that you know what the expectation is on a particular product. MSRP is not good or bad. It's only a guide to help you determine what you should be paying for the product. Retailers set the price that you pay, and it's only in this one step. Okay, so that is MSRP, and that's traditional logistics chain.